Damn it, I knew it. I've got a fever. And you know, there's only one cure. Yeah, more AI-generated radio jingles. Heck yeah. Let's go get a fresh dose so we could feel better.
We are on the air.
All I could say is, wow! Since that first video of, creating radio jingles using AI, I have just been floored by your response. Thank you so much for all your comments. I've read them all. I appreciate all the tips, and you've shared some of the tools to try. And since that video, which by the way, I definitely recommend you watch, because in it, I also share a lot of really valuable tips and tricks on how to repurpose some of this AI-generated music into really cool radio production elements. So give that a watch. But since that first video, I have to tell you, a lot has happened. I mean, my mind, once again, blown away by what's possible with this technology. And I have learned so much from such a short time after producing that first video that I had to come back and share all my new findings, all my new tips, because really two big things have happened. One, I found a brand new tool for jingle creation. And number two, I've refined my prompts to where now I'm actually getting music that resembles real radio jingles. Short, tight, to the point, and totally usable. So I can't wait to share this. You know what, forget about it. Enough of the pitch. Let me at least play for you two of my favorite jingles using this new workflow. And then we'll dive deep into how I did it and all the nuts and bolts.
Totally awesome radio. Triple X 80s. Totally rad radio. Triple X 80s. Triple X 80s.
But it all began in Suno. This is really where I started getting my ears wet with the technology, and once again was left speechless and jaw-dropped. I really loved some of the output, but I have to say, since then, way back, distant days of about 7 days ago, I have found even a better AI jingle creation tool. And you know I'm going to show it to you. Whether or not you give me a like and subscribe, and at this point, I really would love it. And if you're anything like me and just dig content about radio, well, duh, this is the channel for that. So please, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. This definitely deserves more fanfare, so come on, hit it. Bring the curtains out too. Unveiling my absolute favorite AI radio jingle creation tool, at least for this week, is probably an app that you've never heard of. I mean, I just stumbled upon it doing a random YouTube search. It's called LoudMe. Yeah, you get great music, but you get them for absolutely $0. This is 100% free. If there is a limit to the free plan, honestly, I haven't reached it yet. I mean, just look at all my jingle tests in the library here. I've been going nuts with this. Not only is it a music generator, but it's a super cool sound effects generator too. So I definitely urge you to go get yourself a free account and kick the tires on this thing. Now, full disclosure, some other videos that I've watched about LoudMe, some of the commenters have revealed that LoudMe is using an API from Suno. And stripping down all that tech talk, all that means is you're just getting Suno AI under the LoudMe packaging. Well, that might be true. The results I've been hearing in LoudMe honestly outclass those that I was able to achieve in Suno. Instead of wasting your time with me clicking on the full minute 39, 207, 104 minute songs, I want to jump over to Adobe Audition and let you hear what I was able to come up with. Because bottom line, this is where, the AI rubber hits the radio road. Because the bottom line is the quality of your ingredients will determine the quality of your final output. So the AI music creators have to deliver usable work parts. And by that I mean, that 2 minute and 8 second song it spits back that you'll never use as a standalone production element. But within that song, there have to be moments that you could easily then slice and dice in Adobe Audition or whatever audio editing program you use to craft a standalone jingle. That's the key. And for me, LoudMe has produced the greatest number of usable work parts. Now we're going to have some fun. We're in Adobe Edition, and I'm going to play back some actual jingles that I was able to chop up from the original output from LoudMe. You can see here Jingle Test 7. And if you remember from my screen over on LoudMe, this does correspond to the actual tracks that LoudMe produced. What I'll do is play some segments from the raw tracks and then show you what I was able to do with those.
Totally awesome radio. Triple X 80s. Totally rad radio. Triple X 80s.
Right there, those are the moments we're looking for, where, you know, the singing naturally concludes, and I mean, that could be the end of the jingle. And it's so rare that you'll get something like that. But even in this one test, you heard two moments like that. So let's go forward here. And I'll play for you the two jingles I was able to squeeze out of this one track.
Totally awesome radio. Triple X 80s. Totally rad radio. Triple X 80s.
So in the workspace, you see three different tracks are in use. And if I solo each,
Totally rad radio.
so I'm taking this just a trip because I didn't like, well, I could play for you.
Totally rad radio. Triple X 80s.
I wasn't thrilled with the Triple X 80s as a concluding element in that one, so I grabbed another Triple X 80s further down the line, maybe the last one in the song. The song actually had a cold ending with Triple X 80s, which that's the holy grail with AI jingle production. You're always looking for that. And actually, this is how that song ended.
Triple X 80s.
Brilliant. Love that. That's great. And it kind of has some trailing effects and reverb. But to even kick this up a notch, I found a piece of the song where there's kind of an echo effect on the 80s. So I just sunk this up to where it says 80s in the main part of the jingle and just laid it on top. So I think it works very well.
Totally rad radio. Triple X 80s.
And yeah, this edit needs a little more tweaking. It's not completely smooth, but I mean, you see the possibilities. It's super cool, super usable stuff. Okay, let's move on down. Jingle test 15.2.
Totally awesome radio. Triple X 80s. Totally rad radio. Triple X 80s.
Come on. Insta jingle, just like that. That's what we're all looking for. And okay, let's break this down. So you see on Music 1 track, where am I cutting out of this song?
Radio.
If I extend this,
Totally rad radio. Triple X 80s.
okay. So I do get the Triple X 80s there, but it's not a concluding Triple X 80s. So that does not help our cause at all. So you're looking for those moments for the end of your jingle. And this is how that song naturally ended.
Triple X 80s.
So I'm just matching up the beat right here. See this with the beat in the original jingle.
Radio. Triple X 80s.
Oh, love it. Brilliant. Before embarking on round 2 of my AI radio jingle test, I really tightened up the lyrics because before I was just kind of tinkering around and having fun. I really didn't have a clear focus. So this time I wanted to write some snappier, some tighter choruses that eventually would become my jingles. So if you look here, these are just choruses. And wait till you hear what the bots did with this one, my Ferris Bueller jingle. Oh my God. Blew me away. For one test, I just put in a bunch of station names and station slogans.
Triple X 80s, totally awesome radio. Triple X 80s, totally awesome radio. Triple X 80s.
I mean, for anyone who's dabbled in this, it takes a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of tinkering, there's a lot of finessing, a lot of massaging, because none of us really know the right levers to pull. There's a high degree of randomness in this entire process. So just know that going in. It's rare you're going to type in a prompt, fire it off to the bots, and be blown away with your first try. But the moment I changed the structure of my prompt and used specific tags, oh my God, that's when the world opened up and minds were blowing. So this is the prompt I stumbled upon that started the shift and made me believe that producing real radio jingles with AI was actually possible. Now, later on, we're going to even get trickier, and I'll go deeper into the types of tags you could use. For some of you, this isn't going to be too out of the ordinary: intro, chorus, outro, end. But what happens to words that you enclose in parentheses? Now, before my journey down the AI rabbit hole, I had no idea. Well, what happened sounds super cool. It actually is a way to get an echo effect. So right here you see Triple X 80s, and then she'll sing Triple X 80s, and then for the part in the parentheses, it'll be an echo.
Totally awesome radio. Triple X 80s, 80s.
So as this prompt started to evolve, this is what I ended up with. Talk about Tagapalooza. I really kind of went nuts with some of these tags, which are basically cues to instruct the AI model on how to interpret and process your song. And my tests really only scratched the surface of what is possible by using effect tags. And here's a list of effect tags that work with Suno, but you also can have some hit or miss results with some of the other programs like LoudMe. And this is just effect tags. There are tags for vocal style, musical style, energy, which I was clueless about. There's a ton of tags that you could play with to have greater control over the shape of your sound. Now keep in mind, using these tags is hit or miss. The bots aren't going to always honor your requests, but Suno tends to follow along a little more than some of the other platforms. For example, let's take a listen here. And on the second Triple X 80s, she's supposed to whisper it.
Triple X 80s. Triple X 80s.
There you go. Now hang on just 1 second, because I've got a pretty cool announcement. Actually, it's befitting of cutting to the confetti guy. Your very own radio DJ dude, yes, that's me, is launching an exciting email newsletter. Wow, how cutting edge. And I'd love for you to jump in so we could stay connected when I'm not making these videos. I've got lots to share about all things radio. So just go to the link in the description. And as a bonus, because come on, I get it, you're not going to do anything for free, I'm going to share with you all the tags that Suno AI actually is programmed to listen to. So I've compiled an exhaustive list of every musical tag, every tag that you could use for direction when you're, directing Suno to spit out the kind of music that you want. Well, it helps to really refine your use of tags. And I have a list of all of them, and they're yours just by signing up. So check out the link in the description, and then we can start this beautiful email relationship together. Okay, back to the fun. Back in the old days, we had these like slow to fast tempo jingles where if you're coming out of a slow song and you're going into a fast song, well, your jingle would kind of start off slow and then build in intensity, and bammo at the end hit you with a more up-tempo ending, and then you go into your up-tempo song. And to me, this is kind of reminiscent of that.
Awesome radio. Triple X 80s.
It's very cool. And some of these are a little rough around the edges. I was trying to put this together as quickly as possible to share it with you. And I still need to refine some of the cuts. But hopefully you're picking up on the idea and just seeing what really is possible. Here's a fun jingle. This was early in my test where I was still inputting fun 80s theme lyrics instead of just focusing on the station name and a couple slogans. So take a listen. And I've also added some other work parts, as you'll see here.
Triple X 80s, totally right, radio, feeling pretty in pink for the all 80s show.
Extreme 80s fun.
Triple X 80s, like, for sure.
And that is a prime example of what you can do with musical moments you may like, but you just can't fashion a standalone jingle out of. Well, use the bit that you like and then add in, your own station voiceover elements. And here is another unexpected fun infusion. Remember that little script I showed you earlier, the Ferris Bueller jingle? Well, I was blown away with the results from LoudMe on this one.
Triple X 80s, totally right, radio.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while.
Marty McFly, Ferris Bueller.
You could miss it.
Bueller, 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 Bueller. Everyone's moonwalking to Triple X 80s.
Bueller,
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 Bueller, Bueller.
Bueller.
Triple X 80s.
When I heard that, oh my God, I just giggled out loud because you see in the script when I wrote Bueller, Bueller, I mean, of course, that's a flashback to the movie. And as you heard the drop in, the actual actor saying Bueller, Bueller. But for the song to have taken it upon itself and repeat that line, Bueller, 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 that is just so classic. And infusing the movie drop-ins just kind of take it to the next level. So anytime you may stumble upon a moment where you feel, you know what, this just doesn't feel right as a jingle all by itself, we'll always think, what can I do to take it to the next level back on the production end of things? And by blending these movie moments really do elevate the production value. And I think the listener gets a much bigger kick out of actually hearing stuff from the movie. Okay, last up for all you rockers in the house.
Triple X 80s, totally awesome tunes. Your dreams and moments, always in a groove.
Here's another tip which I shared with you in the first video. If you noticed, I heard a sound effect at the beginning of that jingle. Here it is again.
Triple X 80s.
Sound effects are your friends when you're trying to smooth out maybe a less than ideal musical moment. I mean, this jingle probably didn't have a good enough, musical composition at the beginning to use it, by itself. So a nice sound effect, a swoosh or a riser, helps you get into that piece of the song that you do want to use in a more seamless fashion. So don't be scared to play around with that. But I mean, just out of curiosity, let's see what this song sounded like on its own.
Triple X 80s.
No, I couldn't use that. That just wasn't very good. And if we even take this back further, no, this is right in the middle of the song. No, I needed that sound effect to pull it off. Because otherwise, I think it's a killer jingle. And then the way we blended the big finish, because, I mean, this song by itself, the portion I used doesn't end like that. So it needed the actual cold fade from the original song to really top it off so nicely. So now you see why I was doing cartwheels and backflips over on the AI playground. I mean, this stuff really, shattered all my expectations. This took jingle creation to a brand new level that, from the beginning I had dreamt of. I really was hoping to be able to produce more standalone jingles. Jingles we can kind of just run on their own with nice concluding elements with your station name being sung at the end of the jingle in a very clean fashion. And up until now, I just was not achieving those results. But welcome LoudMe to the stage, and that radically changed my AI jingle creation process. So there you go, another way to turn AI radio jingle creation up to 12. Now, if you also get some incredible results, please share. I'd love to hear about them. Send me a link in the comments. Now, if you dug this little video ditty, oh, it would mean the world to get a like and subscribe from you. Thank you so much. I'm Jeff, the Radio DJ Dude, and until our next little radio rodeo, you keep rocking those mics all over the world.